Hey, welcome to the walk to class. So today we're going to be going over what you should be doing for your first day of class, as well as a brief walkthrough through your classroom and what to do for the week. So the first thing you're going to do, and your student advisor should have sent you out a how to set up your Canvas portal and student portal. Now your student portal you should already have made with your admissions consultant. If you do not, and this screen does not look familiar, then you need to call your admissions consultant and set that up with them. So after your student portal is set up, you're going to log in just like normal, and I'm going to use our setup one to log in. So you're going to log into your student portal, and you're going to go to Canvas. Now yours should be right here, kind of like a big button in the center that says Canvas. Click here to access. If it's not here, it may be under campus info, but more likely than not, it'll just be here. So we're going to click on Canvas. This is how we're going to get into class. Now, it takes me straight into class because I'm already signed in. It's going to take you guys to a different screen where you're going to have to set it up, and I'm going to pull up some screenshots of that. Okay, so when you go into Canvas, this is the first thing that's going to show up. So you're going to have a username and password again. Now, after you've set up your student portal, which is what we did before this, you should know that your username is your first name dot your last name, and your password is whatever you set it up as. That's not going to work here. You have to actually set it up first. So you're going to click on these yellow letters, and it's going to take you to this screen. You'll put in your email, request password. Now they'll send you an email to your email, so you need to go into your email. Once you get that, you're going to click here to set a new password, and then you're going to make up your own. I suggest you make it the same as the student portal, so then that way the username and the password will be the same for both, so it'll be easy to remember. If not, make sure you write it down. We will not be able to see your password, so if you ever forget it, then you're going to have to call Canvas to get that back. So then once you set that up, you sign in like normal, and it will take you to this screen. Now, the screen you'll see first, if you don't see right away, it should say this, you'll go under Courses, and then you should have your courses here. Now, I don't have any courses because I'm under Administrator, so I've pulled up what your course will look like. So the first course you should take, and just about everybody should be taking this, is CSS 101, Psychology of Motivation. Now, you'll see first these buttons, and there are several ways that you can navigate within your classroom. And I'm going to go over most of the ways, but there's an easiest way. So you can come straight in here. You'll be able to see your teacher, live sessions, which we'll go over later, textbook, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So you can go through all the weeks yourself and the daily checkpoints. Now, I'm going to show you guys the way I do it, which is I go to Modules. And then it's going to show you, it's going to have all of your resources and then the weeks broken down here. I think this is easier because then I can see exactly where to go, what's worth points, what isn't, so I know what is assignments and what is just like prep work and knowledge to get to know what to do in the classes. Also, I'll know exactly where I'm on. So that's one way you can do it, and that's the way I suggest you do. But I'm going to show you the other way. So if we go back home, you can click on week 1, which is the week that you're in right now, or week 2 or week 3, depending on, what week you're in. And it's going to give you an overview of what you're going to learn this week. And you can actually come down to these buttons and hit next, and it will just take you to the next thing. So it'll take you to the reading. It'll take you to introduce yourself. And then it will also take you to your discussion, which is your first homework assignment, which we'll go over in just a minute. So, come on. And then you can continue to go like that. You can keep going. It would take you to the scavenger hunt and so on. But I think it's a little easier if you can see them broken out. So I suggest you go to Modules, and there's going to be 3 things that you're going to do today, and there's going to be 3 things you're going to do this week. So I've broken them down. So the 3 things you're going to do today is the discussion post, you're going to do a daily checkpoint, and you're going to watch your live lecture. And then the 3 things you're going to do this week is the discussion post, which should be done today, so that can be crossed off. And then the scavenger hunt and the APA paper template. Now this is a template, not a paper, so don't worry. But both of these things you're going to want to wait to do until after you watch your live lecture, which is why you're going to try to watch it today or tomorrow. So the first thing you're going to do is your discussion post. So if you come down here, you see again, week overview, reading and tools, introduce yourself, discussion 1, scavenger hunt, and the APA paper template. Now notice these are the 3 things that are due this week. These are also the 3 things that have a due date and points to the right. So it's a good way to tell whether something's a quiz, a test, an assignment, what's due for points. Because if you do introduce yourself, that's great. You can absolutely do that and get to know your classmates, but you're not going to get points for that. So if you do this and not this, you're going to get your grade docked and possibly strikes, because remember with the strike policy, you have to have all your homework turned in or you get strikes for it. Too many strikes and you get taken out of class. So first things first, the discussion understanding self is the one you want to go to. So we're going to click on discussion understanding self and we'll come here. Now I'm just going to briefly go over this because you can read the instructions when you get into your classroom today. But it says in this discussion, and in most of your discussions, you will choose one of the topics. Your main post, you'll have 3 parts. You'll have a main post and 2 replies. So think of it kind of like Facebook. Status update and 2 comments to other people's statuses update. So your main post or status update will be 150 words. And then the 2 students you reply to will be about 50 words. So one of your posts must be made by Wednesday. So your main post will have to be made by Wednesday midnight. So that's why we're going to do it today, because it's the first thing that'll be due every week. All of your posts must be made by Saturday midnight Mountain Standard Time. And that's the same with all your homework. All your homework for this week needs to be in by Saturday midnight so you can avoid getting those strikes. So we really want it in by Friday, but Saturday is your deadline. So you'll see option 1 has a quote. You'll read the quote and then you'll just answer some of these questions, give your opinion on it, or you can choose to take a personality test. Either way is great, but just pick one. And then she has an example. This is not what you want to write exactly because you don't want to plagiarize. You want to write it in your own words. But this is just an example of what someone else has done for theirs. So to respond, you're going to come down below the instructions. And I don't have it right here, but you will. You'll have yours, and it'll say reply, and it'll be a little white box, kind of like this one, but it'll have reply in it. You'll click it, and you'll just start typing, and it'll give you a white box. So once you're done typing, you'll hit reply or post, and it'll post just like these guys have their post. Now to reply to someone else's, as you scroll down, again, I don't have it because I have the administrator stuff, but you will. You'll see somebody's main post. Right beneath it, you'll have another reply box. So it's really easy to reply to somebody else's. It's the same thing here. You just pick 2, you'd reply to them, and after your main post, pick 2, reply to them, and you're done. So it's pretty simple, not too hard. That's the first thing I want you to do when you get in there. So you have it done and out of the way. Now we're going to go back to modules. And we're going to do a daily checkpoint. Now, as your admissions consultants, I'm sure have told you, you need to have 4 logins every week to stay in class. So this first week you have to have 4 or you'll be taken out. And you have to have 4 every week or else you'll get strikes. And again, remember, too many strikes, you'll get taken out of your class. So, start at the top. You'll have course home, you have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And then you have daily checkpoints right here. So the daily checkpoints are broken into days. So it makes it real easy. Now you can only do your daily checkpoint on the day that it's there. So like I can't do Tuesdays if it's Mondays. And I can't do Fridays if it's Saturday. You have to do the day that it is. So if it's Monday, I would click on Monday, week 1, day 1. and it would take me right into the daily checkpoint. Now again, I can't take the daily checkpoint because I have an administrator account, but you'll just read through these paragraphs. You'll have one question to answer, and you'll hit submit. So should not take you very long. The longest thing will take is just the reading. Should just be one question. You have up to an hour. Most of my students get it done within like 5 to 15 minutes. So you'll do your discussion post, your daily checkpoint, then you're going to watch your live lecture if you can. Not everybody will be able to today. So the way you're going to find out is you're going to go home. So you're going to go to home with those buttons again. So there's home and then there's modules. So home is with the buttons, modules has a breakdown of all the weeks. And you'll see right here is live session. And her live session for this particular class is Monday at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Remember, all your times and due dates are going to be in Mountain Time, so you may have to convert it to your time zone. So if I was going to the live session, let's say it's Monday, 9:15 a.m. Mountain Time, because you want to be a little early, I'm going to click on live session. Now, our live sessions are through Zoom, so it's going to be like a live, not a live lecture, a live meeting kind of thing. Now this didn't launch for me. You may have to set up an account when you first get in. So you may have to just set it up, just make a username, a password, put in your email. And then if this doesn't automatically launch, you're just going to click Join Meeting. And it even tells you what to do. It says, please click Join Meeting button. Click Save File. Then double click the file. In the download window, click Run. So I'm going to click Join Meeting because I don't have the software on here right now. And I'm going to say Save File, except for it's not responding. We'll give it a sec. There we go. Save File. For Mozilla Firefox, my files are going to be saved right here. Yours may be a little different depending on what browser you're using. So we're going to go double click on Launch Zoom. And we're going to click Run, just like it told us to do. So it's thinking, and it's just going to pull it up. So we'll give it just a second. So now that this has popped up, it says, please wait for host to start this meeting. Now obviously it's not 9:30, as you can see, it's almost 5, and it's not Monday today, so it's not going to start for me right now because she's not in there. So while waiting, we could check our audio settings, make sure nothing's on mute. We're not the host, so we ignore that, and this is a recurring meeting, so we would wait. So say that you forget it's in Mountain Standard Time, and you look, you're like, ah, I have to join my live lecture, and so you go to join, and it's over. Now, if this happens, don't worry. Your live lectures are recorded, so you can go to the recorded session. So to do that, it's a different way we get there. So we're going to get out of this. So we go, oh, okay, this isn't working. They're not there. We're going to leave the meeting, and we're going to go back. We're going to go back to our classroom, and we're going to go into announcements. Now, announcements is where your teacher is going to give you announcements. So she's going to tell you things like, you know, scavenger hunt questions. So here's your document to study for your scavenger hunt, or how to get to the ebook, welcome to class, different things to announce, as well as the recorded sessions. So this is the recorded session for week 2 for her. So if you just click on that, and it actually just plays right here. So then it would start playing. You can see it's about an hour. So most live lectures are about an hour long, which is about usual. So set aside about an hour when you watch these, and that's how you get to your recorded session every time. So to go over it, to get to your live lecture, we will go home, live session, and it will tell you the time. So if it's the right time, go to the live session, because then you can ask her questions, and she'll interact with you. But if you miss it, go to announcements. She'll have it put up as soon as it's done recording and processing. Click on the session you need to go to, and it'll be right there. So Now that you've done your live lecture, you've done your daily checkpoint, and you've done your discussion, you're good to go for today, unless you want to continue to work. Now for the rest of the week, you will have 2 other assignments. And I'm just going to show you where those are because you can ask your student advisor. So the next one's a scavenger hunt. This is a test. Make sure you watch your live lecture before you take the scavenger hunt. Then you're also going to have the APA paper template. Again, she goes over that in the live lecture, so make sure you watch that before you do either of these. So these are the 3 things that are due this week. Now the other thing I want to briefly go over is your textbook and how to get to Tutors, and then we'll be done. So the way you get to your textbook is to go up to Course Home. As you can see, it says CourseSmart Textbook. It also says Intro and Expectations, and Associate Deans, Grades, all that stuff. So we're going to go to Textbook here. It should pull up just like this. And you're going to select your book, and it'll take you to CourseSmart. Now this is going to let you go through your chapters. You can click on this button here. It takes you to the table of content. I want to make this bigger though. Here we go, zoom. So that's how you get to your textbook. It should be pretty quick. Again, you may have to set up username and password again for CourseSmart. But once you do it once, that's all you'll need to do. So I'm going to go back. So that's how you get to your textbook. Now, if you have trouble with it, check the announcements. Your teacher, for instance, this teacher has a way to get into your ebook. She goes over how to get to your ebook. CourseSmart textbook access right there. So check it if you're having trouble. And then the other thing I want to show you guys is the tutors. Now the tutors are amazing. Use them because you'll have access to them throughout all of your classes with us, and they are amazing. They're instructors themselves. There's senior students who have already done the program, and they're trained to do it. So they're great. They're one of my favorites. So the way you get to them is you can go through Shark, or this is a different tutoring. So you're going to go through Shark. We'll click on Shark, and it'll take us to this page. Again, you have these buttons, and you can see here, Tutoring Center. Now this is also where your library is, so your library resources, but you won't use that until week 2, week 3, so you don't need to worry about that yet. You're going to go to Tutoring Center, and it's going to take you to this page. All of these buttons are different classes and majors. You guys are in CSS 101, which is always top button to the far right. If you get confused and you're like, oh man, I just don't know which button to click on, you can just click right here, the big blue hyperlink, and it'll take you to the General Tutoring Center. We're going to click on CSS 101. And you'll notice when you click on that, it gives you a time and day. So, whichever one you're clicking on, it's going to tell you this is when these tutors are available. Remember, again, it's in Mountain Time, but for Monday, 12 to 3, 5 to 9 p.m. So for those of you on the East Coast, that's pretty late. That's 11 p.m. your time is until they're there. So they have quite a broad range that they cover throughout the day. Saturday, Friday, Thursday, they're here until 10 p.m. Now this changes every week, so you want to check it. But if you check, say it's Monday, 2 p.m., Mountain Standard Time, awesome. They're there. So we're going to click on Tutoring Lab. For those of you who didn't see that, I have them kind of fast. You'll click right here, Enter Tutoring Lab. And it'll take you here to Blackboard Collaborate Launcher. So I don't have it downloaded, so you just go to Download. You click Join, Save File. Same way that we did the Zoom things. You'll double click it, and it'll take you in. It may ask you for your name and email. That's just so when you join in to the web meeting for the tutors, you have your name right there so that they know who you are. It's chat-based, but you can hear them. They can talk to you, and they can also screen share with you. So if you're stuck on a paper, they'll be able to see it and help you. Okay, so just a brief overview. So the 3 things you're going to do today, you're going to go to Modules, You're going to do your discussion understanding self. So right there, go back. You're going to do your daily checkpoint, which is right here for Monday, Tuesday. Then you're going to watch your live lecture, but you're going to go back to home, see what time it is, take it if it's that time, Mountain Standard Time. If it's past that time, you'll go to announcements and watch the recorded version. So those are the 3 things you're going to do today. The 3 things you're going to do this week. Go back to modules. You're going to do your discussion understanding self, scavenger hunt, and the APA paper template. So those are the 5 things that should be done. So again, things to do today: discussion post, daily checkpoint, live lecture. This week, the discussion post, which should be done, scavenger hunt, and the APA paper template. Now, really briefly, I'm also going to go over the strike policy. So as you all should know already from the emails that are sent out from orientation, as well as talking with your admissions consultant, is that your first class does have what's called a strike policy. So you can only have 1 piece of homework missing or late for your first class, or they'll take you out of class, because every missing or late homework assignment is 2 strikes. And if you don't log in 4 times or more a week, that's 1 strike. The strikes are cumulative. So that means if you get 1 strike because you only logged in 3 times the first week, and then the next week you miss an assignment because you have an emergency, that's 3 strikes, and they'll take you out of class. So just make sure you get everything in on time. Plus, you want to save that 1 assignment you can have late or missing for if you do have an emergency, because life happens, life comes up. You want to keep a hold of that, or not use it unless you have to. So just make sure everything is done before Saturday, and you won't even toe the strike line. You'll be good. As well as just make sure you're doing those daily checkpoints. The daily checkpoints, there's one for every single day of the week. If you get more than 4 right in a week, you actually get extra credit, which is awesome, and that does act as your attendance quiz. So as long as you're doing daily checkpoints and you got all your homework in before Saturday, you're good to go. So if you have any questions, you can ask your admissions consultant or your student advisor. And then for those who are having a hard time logging in, type into the chat box, let the student advisor who's hosting this know. Besides that, everyone else, log into your student portals, log into your